Once upon a time, in the beginning of everything, there was a perfect world. A world where the sky was bright, the rivers were clear, and the earth was full of life. This world was called Eden, and it was the first home of the first humans, Adam and Eve. God created Adam from the dust of the earth. He gave him life and placed him in the Garden of Eden, a paradise where everything was beautiful, peaceful, and good. But even though Adam had everything he needed, food, shelter, and animals to talk to, God knew something was missing. So God created Eve, someone who was not just like Adam, but also different. Together, they were meant to care for the garden, live in harmony, and enjoy everything God had made. They were free to eat from any tree in the garden, except for one. God told Adam and Eve that they could enjoy everything in the garden, but they were not to eat the fruit of that tree. It was a simple rule, but it was important. It was about trust. The serpent was crafty, and his words made Eve doubt what God had said. The fruit looked so good. Maybe it would make her wiser, like the serpent said. Maybe God was holding something good back from her. So Eve took the fruit and ate it. And then she gave some to Adam, who was with her, and he ate it too. Suddenly, everything changed. Their eyes were opened, and they knew they were naked. They felt ashamed and tried to cover themselves with leaves. They had broken the only rule God had given them. Later that day, God came to walk with them in the garden, as he did every evening. But this time, something was different. Adam and Eve weren't there. They hid themselves from God, afraid. God called out, "Where are you?" Adam said, "I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid." God asked, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam blamed Eve, and Eve blamed the serpent. Neither of them took responsibility for their actions. And in that moment, the consequences of their choice began to unfold. God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, you are cursed. You will crawl on your belly and eat dust all your life. There will be enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers." God said to Eve, "I will greatly increase your pain in childbirth, and you will desire to control your husband, but he will rule over you." God said to Adam, "Because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree I commanded you not to eat from, the ground is cursed because of you. You will toil and struggle all your life to make it produce food for you. And when you die, you will return to the ground from which you were made." And so, Adam and Eve were driven out of the Garden of Eden. No longer would they live in paradise, carefree and innocent. They would face pain, hard work, and separation from God. But there was still hope. Even though Adam and Eve had disobeyed, God promised that one day, someone would come to restore what had been lost. A way would be made for them, and for all of us, to return to God's perfect love. The story of Adam and Eve reminds us that our choices matter. It teaches us about the consequences of disobedience, but also the possibility of redemption. And most importantly, it's a story about love. The love that God has for us, even when we make mistakes. Because in the end, God never gave up on humanity, and he never will.